I always read it as the way I've been taught through universe, as the ace, the 10, the jack, the queen, the king, and the joker from a standard deck of cards. The ace is a rebirth. It's a feeling of confusion, and this is what you're working on throughout the resistance, these 6, but they impact us within each number. So the ace is the idea of, it's abandonment. It comes from abandonment. It's a feeling of confusion. It's a feeling of being lost. And basically, it's a rebirth. So if you think of a baby coming out of its mother, there will be a lot of confusion because it was nice and warm inside its mother. There was no lights. There was not really a lot of sound. It was kind of like sounds rather than a whole load of noise. And there's all of this stuff now that it's going to learn. It doesn't have it's not, food is not going directly to it, drink is not going directly to it. It's got this whole new world that it's got to experience, and that's exactly what the ace is about. You learning to experience your world in a new way. And we all change, we're all changing. So the more you resist this rebirth, this you becoming someone new, the more you'll struggle within it. The 10 is this fear of failure and rejection. So it means that within the mind, it's constantly this idea of, it's constantly in the mind of, but what if this happens, and what if I fail, and what if I don't get this, and what if that doesn't work for me, but what if I'm not good enough, and what if it doesn't work, and what if I get stuck, and what if I'm rejected, and what if, and what if, and what, it gets lost in the what ifs. So it never actually moves itself fully. It's like, let's say the inspiration that you had was to write a book. If that what if that particular one was disturbing you, you may write the book, you may actually write it, but you would never take yourself out to publish it. You'd have it and you'd have the idea, or you'd start writing it and then you would give up on it, because that what if it fails, what if I'm rejected, would be more dominant in you. So the idea of these ones is that we overcome them. That's the idea. We overcome the ones. The ones are our ego. That for me is like somebody else saying the ego death. That's literally what you're doing. You're overcoming your ego by deciding that, you know what? I'm not going to allow my fears to hold me back anymore. I'm moving beyond them. I'm not going to allow that what if something bad happens to take away the what if I'm an amazing author. What if I get published and I'm like J.K. Rowling's? What if I am everything that the world needs? What if I'm amazing at this? What if I help so many people through this? There's so many what ifs you can do in positive. But if you keep allowing the negatives to hold you, then you're never going to fulfill that desire that you have. And the 10 for me is a desire. It's a deep desire in you that you really, really want this. You think about it a lot, but you're not necessarily willing to put yourself out there for it. The Jack is a message of know your worth. It's when you've been criticized heavily, so your inner bully comes out. And that inner bully keeps telling you, I can't do that because I'm not good enough. I can't do that, I'm not deserving. I can't do that because people will think I'm stupid. I can't do that because whatever, but it's I can't. It doesn't stop with the I can't. And who do you think you are? You're just a piece of rubbish. I don't know why you think that you're able to do that. And it bullies itself infinitely. You've started to change that. When you say trying, I have this thing against the word trying. When you say trying, it goes along with that what if idea and the Jack energy as well, actually, because it is this bully of self. It goes along with this idea that I'm trying to do this, but I'm not doing it very well. I'm trying to do this, but I could be doing it better. I'm trying to do this, but I keep going back to my old way. I'm trying to do this, but I don't really know how far I'm coming with it. I'm not really sure how good I am at it. Let go of the I'm trying. You are doing it. Whether you're doing it consistently, you're still doing it. Whether you're doing it every minute of the day, or not, you're still doing it. You're still putting effort into that change. And the more you don't tell yourself off about doing it, the more you move into doing it. The more you do the I'm trying, the more you're telling yourself off that you're not doing good enough. So it means that that bully gets more power over you, and you become reluctant to do it because you don't want to fail and you don't want to be rejected, and you don't want to look like you're not doing enough. So it's better for you to just stop doing it rather than continue putting that effort into it. In your head, it means you slip up still, but that's the bully. What's wrong with slipping up? Why is that a problem? And the problem with the slipping up, when you're talking to yourself in that way, the problem with slipping up is that you give that chance for the inner bully to take over. And you don't want to give it that chance to take over. Be encouraging to self, be nurturing to self, be compassionate to self. Remind yourself that, you know what, I am doing this. And you know what, sometimes I do go back. But when I go back, you know what it does? It reminds me to keep pushing forward. It reminds me to keep putting this effort into this. It reminds me that I can do this, that I've got this, that I'm strong enough to do this, that there's nothing that will stop me from keep moving forward. And I know that there are parts of me that don't believe that that's possible, but you know what? I'm doing it regardless of what that part of me feels like. That part of me will come along for the ride, and that part of me will eventually change and understand that we've got this, we're doing this together, and we're growing together, and I'm going to keep pushing that part of me on this journey with me because I know that they're capable of doing it as well. And as hard as they may find it, I've got them, I've got them, and I know that we're doing this. I want you to understand this really well. All of the numbers, the aces, the ones, the ego self, they all stem from 0 to 7 years old. We're really young when these belief systems in us take hold of us, and everything after that 7 years old just compounds that belief system, just keeps compounding it. So somebody within your family or whoever grew you until 7 years old with the Jack would have made you feel really crap about yourself with this idea of criticizing you all the time. So what you do, it's not a conscious thing, because I don't believe by the age of 7 it's a conscious thing for us to do that. But by the age of 7, what happens with us is, and this is my own understandings, okay, through myself, is that part of us is like, right, nobody's ever going to make me feel like that again. If anybody's going to make me feel bad and crappy and stupid, I'll make myself feel like that. Nobody is going to make me feel stupid again. So that for me is this inner bully, the birth of the inner bully. It's when we give ourselves permission to be the worst version of ourselves to ourselves. So that inner bully becomes really dominant within us. And anybody that's around us that wants to start criticizing us, although it does hurt, it can never hurt as much as yourself can hurt yourself. It's probably likely to be the part, and because it's the part that wants to hurt you as well and doesn't feel good enough, it's likely, if you're a Jack, that there will be some self-harm involved in that, in whether it's just in your mind and how you speak to yourself, or how you treat your body, or the things that you do within your life. It will likely take over quite a few things within your life, but it's all because of that inner bully. And the other thing I want you to understand, especially about the Jack, Queen and King, is that these are the light worker parts of us. They're the parts of us that through the trauma we become light. So the Jack, that it doesn't know its worth, and this inner bully that's really dominant within it, because it wasn't shown a lot of kindness and praise, it becomes that to other people. The Jack is one of the kindest people you will ever meet. Any kind person you meet, they're that Jack energy. They've been criticized, and they want to be the kindest version that they can be to other people, because they don't want anybody else to feel the way they felt. So they become this encourager, cheerleader, inspiration, inspiring other people to be the best versions of themselves, to give them that confidence, to tell people, oh, you're amazing, oh, you're so beautiful, oh, I really love your dress, oh, you're so kind, oh, you're so caring, oh, they are so easy to give compliments to other people, but they will struggle to give themselves a compliment, and they'll struggle to receive a compliment. But through that lack that they experienced, they became this beautiful person. The thing that they haven't learnt to do yet is to give themselves that same care and compassion that they give to others. That's the lesson of the Jack. What you learn through the darkness, really, to give to others, give it to yourself. And the more you give it to yourself, the more your life will just change miraculously around you, and you begin this process of a deep healing within yourself, of seeing the beauty within yourself, knowing your kindness, knowing that you are enough, you are deserving, that you are worthy. All right, so these are the ones, yeah? These are the things that we have to overcome. So the next one would be the Queen. And as you can see so far, they're quite different energies. They have different mindsets. They have different emotions attached to them. The Queen is somebody that she comes from a place of neglect. Not to say that she wasn't loved in her life, but between the ages of 0 to 7, there would have been this feeling that she was neglected. She did not get the care and the attention that she craved. So what happens with the Queen is that she becomes the carer. And because she didn't get the care, she becomes the carer. That's what I was like. We can look at our world in these really dark places and light places, but they create a balance. Because of this, we become this. They create something beautiful. The Queen is somebody that she's very insecure within herself. She feels useless unless she's helping somebody else. She's a people pleaser. She doesn't know how to say no, and she struggles with feeling validated. So she always needs somebody outside of herself to validate her. Oh, thank you for doing that, and you're so kind and you're so caring, and I really appreciate that. And she needs to feel useful to other people, and if she doesn't feel useful to other people, she's the lower frequency. She moves into this lower frequency Queen, which is that she becomes extremely aggressive, which is completely opposite to the caring that she is. But she is like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of vibe with the Queen energy. She is an extremely caring energy, but in her insecurity, she becomes very aggressive, and she feels like she becomes aggressive because she's not getting what she needs from others, which is the validation. She's not feeling secure within herself because other people are making her feel useless. She feels taken advantage of and used. So when she feels like that, she attacks, and she will start getting very noisy. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's the same example I always give. Let's say you have a kitchen full of dishes. If you walked into the kitchen with the higher frequency Queen, you would go and wash those dishes, and you would not think anything because you are the carer. You enjoy caring, whether you see people appreciating it or not around you. You enjoy caring for other people. But the lower frequency Queen would walk into that same kitchen with the dishes, and she would be like, am I the only one that can wash up? What the hell is this? What? Am I your slave or something? Come and do the washing up. Why? I'm not doing the washing up. I'm not doing it. You guys take advantage of me. You're taking the pee out of me. What is this? And she would throw a tantrum because she feels extremely insecure. The biggest thing for the Queen, when she's in her lower frequency, it means she's not giving herself time to recharge. She's not filling up her own cup. She's working from an empty cup, basically. So she hasn't recharged. She's not giving herself validation. She's not loving on herself. She's not giving herself space. She's not listening to music. She's not singing. She's not dancing. The easiest things for the Queen to get back into this high frequency is to sing and dance. They're so easy for her to change her frequency, but she doesn't tend to do them when she's in her lower frequency because she's so irritated by everybody else. She doesn't give herself that space. But if she did give herself that space, it means that she's recharging, because music and movement and singing and dancing give her that recharge. So if she just listened to music and sang and danced, she would get back into that high frequency. It's very easy for the Queen. She wouldn't need that validation from others because she's lifted herself up into that shift. So the Queen is somebody that did experience neglect, wants to give that care to everybody else, but her thoughts, her lesson, you could say, is giving that care to herself. The version of the Queen is, she might not actually say it, but her energy speaks volumes. She might not say, da, 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 but she will be angry. She will be stomping around the house. She will be putting things down heavily. She will distance herself from people because she feels mad. The steam is coming. And if somebody says, can you do this for me? She's like, yeah, I'll do that for you. But she's not doing it from a caring place. She's doing it from this need to please others. It's not necessarily that she will attack. My version attacks. She's very vocal. She attacks. I call her the monster. But there are some times that I don't say something and I'm just moody. It will put me into this really moody place and this really insecure place. So that is the other version of the lower frequency Queen. She may not say something, but you know that she's got the hump. You know. The King is somebody between 0 to 7 would have been, they're like an empath. They're somebody that feels other people, and children are very good at feeling other people. If your parents were in a mood, you would have known it. You walk into the room, you can feel the energy. As a child, we feel it. We get more and more out of it as adults, the more we stop paying attention. But as children, you do feel it. So let's say you felt quite happy and then you walked into the kitchen and you were like, you felt a weight. And you were like, Mum, are you okay? And your mum says, yeah, of course I'm okay. Everything's all right. And then you're like, but I feel... You don't say how you feel. You just, your mum says she's all right and you accept that she says that she's all right. So then you have a friend, you get a bit older and you have a friend and you ask your friend, are you all right? Because you can feel they're not all right. And they say, yeah, I'm all right. And what happens is, you stop trusting what you feel and start listening to what they say. So when you feel something, which is your intuition, you stop trusting your intuition. You start believing more in what other people are telling you than what you feel within yourself. And that is the King energy. The King energy is somebody that has lived many, many lifetimes. What happens with the King? The King is a very old energy. It's somebody that's lived many, many lifetimes and somebody that their intuition is on point. They have a very high intuition, but they stopped trusting themselves. And because they stopped trusting themselves, they don't necessarily share what they have. The King is somebody that has a lot of wisdom but won't necessarily share its wisdom because it feels like, what does it know? Who am I? I don't know anything. It's like it feels like everything that it knows, and it's a knowing. It's not, I think this or I think that. It's, I know this, but it doubts what it knows. So it feels very reluctant to share what it knows because somebody else can say that, no, that's not right, and make them feel like what they've said isn't relevant. So what was the point of saying it? King is the sharer. So the sharer for me is the person that uses their gift, uses their darkness, uses where they're coming from and the light that they have to be able to share it. So you might have people, for example, the King is somebody that is likely to get people just come up to you and tell you their life story. Random people, you don't know them from Adam, but they're like, hey, and they just, I used to work in a dentist when I was in England, and some patients would just come in and they'd just start talking. I felt like a bartender. They would just come and start telling me things. Or sometimes the reps, the people that come to sell the dentist, whatever. And there was a few of them actually, and they'd come and they'd just start telling me about their life and a whole load of stuff about their life. And I'd just sit there and listen. And it was like, oh, it's a really weird experience. It was really weird. It's not anymore because it happens quite a lot. But it's like these random people just come and they just feel the need to share with you. And it's because you are the wisdom. You are the one that's going to understand them. And there's something within you that has this ability to share something with them that will help them. Whether you share it or not is irrelevant. That is what you're here to do. As the sharer, you are here to share. And your sharing is the understanding of your darkness to light. How you maneuvered from this place to this place. That's what you have to share, because you have the wisdom to be able to share that now. So the Joker. The Joker is a message of controlling control. It's somebody that didn't have a lot of control within 0 to 7. They wouldn't have had a lot of control. Their parents would have been on them. Joker. So the Joker is the one that didn't have a lot of control, so doesn't feel like what they have, what they say is relevant, or that it's like somebody that feels that they have no control to be able to do anything. So what happens is, as you get older, you become extremely controlling. The Joker is somebody that's likely to suffer from, or experience from OCD tendency. They want their world to be the way they want it, and it means that they want to fix things within their world, and they want to make things the way that they want them within their world. And if they can't make it that way, then they feel extremely frustrated, and they go into this place of OCD tendencies, controlling the things that they feel that they can control. It all comes down to the lack of control within self, rather than not controlling outside of you, not being able to control outside of you. The controlling control, it's called that because we can want to control our physical world. We can, but we cannot control our physical world. All we can do is control our energy. Lower frequency, higher frequency. That we have the ability to control. And when we control our energy, it means that we're attracting different things. If we're in a controlling energy of our physical world, we're in fear mode, which means that we're in lack. We're in lower frequency. That can feel like any of the numbers: frustration, irritation, having doubts about yourself, not feeling that anything works for you, putting the mask on and hiding yourself. It can feel like it can feel crap. It will all feel crap. None of it will feel good. Or when we shift ourselves, it will feel good. It will feel loving. You'll feel happy within self. You know you don't need to control the physical world, because whatever you're sending out from a higher frequency, you know you're attracting. You know you're attracting more feel good feelings, more things that will come into your world that feel good. So it's about you adjusting your frequency rather than putting attention into your physical world, because the more you want to put attention into your physical world, the more out of control you feel. Maybe momentarily, while you're fixing this particular thing, you have a momentary moment of control and you feel controlled within that moment. But if that thing, like if your OCD, for example, was making sure this and this are in the right place, nice. But somebody comes along and moves that. Now you can't even see what I've got here. Let's get things that you can see. Let's say you had these two things and they were like that, but somebody comes along and moves that like that. Now you're out of control again. So it's not about controlling the physical world, because in any moment the physical world can change around you. It's about you controlling how you react to your physical world. That is the Joker energy.